the family sits down together to eat.
This is your social distance when you're out in the market. Prosperous and strong for you. So my hair is clipped from Ladu's hugging it. He hugged.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, children. Good evening, children. Good evening, children.
Good evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. We got such lovely children, and you're already on my Twitter handle today. And you've been put on my Twitter handle by Isha Arora, who's your IT coordinator. I hope we can see her.
Yes, ma'am.
We can.
We all spoke to her.
Good. And lovely children, let me take your names. And you raise your hands when I take your name. Dhaval Sai Kura from Hyderabad. Raise your hand. Oh, you're the small young boy. My God. You're a 10-year-old boy You're a 10-year-old boy. Dhaval.
Yes,
Only
ma'am.
10-year-old joining me today in Hyderabad, from Hyderabad. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. And now Harshpreet Singh, also only 10 years old, from New Delhi. My little Sardarji. Where is he? The little Sardarji. Yeah. I saw you on my Twitter handle too. Harshpreet Singh. Harshpreet, raise your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
You're the only one small little Sardarji. Then comes Ishwani Soni from Chandigarh. Who's that?
Ma'am,
Ishwani?
Ishani.
Ishani. Okay. Ishani. Look, your
Ishani.
name, these days your names are all becoming so original. Ishanvi, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ishanvi Soni from Chandigarh, my favorite city, Chandigarh. And now we have Kisle Chaturvedi from Patna. Very good. Kisle. Have I said your name right, Kisle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Again, a very unique name. Then comes Kriti Chopra. Kriti, where are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Lovely. That's like,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think you're the older one. Kriti is the 14-year-old. Kisle is the 14-year-old. Ishanvi is also
Yes, ma'am.
14 years old. Then Prakhar Chetna Singh. Prakhar Chetna Singh. Prakhar, can I
Yes,
speak
ma'am.
your name rightly? What are you? How are you?
Yes, ma'am. Prakhar
Prakhar?
Chetna Singh.
Again, another new name, tough names. Your parents seem to be researching your names from Sanskrit, the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Rig Vedas, and finding your names. Aren't they?
Yes.
Looks like. And then we got Vidushi Chandelier. Vidushi Chandelier, Ramgarh. Vidushi? A. And that's 14 years old. You're looking younger than that. Huh?
Thank you, ma'am.
Vidushi Chandelier,
No.
right? Chandelier or Chandelier? What is it? Chandelier?
Chandelier.
Okay, lovely. And you've
Thank
sent
you,
me
ma'am.
the questions. Your Ashanti has given me the questions. I have, I'm going to address these questions one by one, as you wish. As you know, we do this regular book reading every Friday at 5 o'clock. And this is held from Rajnivas. I'm speaking to you from my office in Rajnivas. So what you see here, whatever little you see, is the office in Lieutenant Governor's office, Rajnivas. And Rajnivas is one of the cutest of the Rajnivas of all Lieutenant Governor's offices in India. It's one of the very oldest ones left by the French. This was made by French. It was built and rebuilt. Once it was built and made by British, then demolished, and then made by French. So it's a French property, almost 200 years old, in which I'm sitting. Okay, now this book reading is the event 23rd event. So this is the 23rd batch you are in, batch number 23. And you will remain associated with us in our group, which Asha Gupta has organized, and she stays connected with you. You'll also get to connect with other earlier 22 batches of students who've been a part of this group. So we have a WhatsApp group. Am I right?
Yes.
And we are a WhatsApp group, and you will be part of that group, and you can keep saying hello and share as you grow, as you become older in age and you achieve, and you like to share your sense of achievement. So this is where we are today, the Friday book show. And the book, as Asha must have told you, is The Making of the Top Cop. Here, it's a biography. It was written by my two sisters who decided to write what went into making of the top cop, which I happen to be their sister. So they looked at it from their point of view and wrote The Making of the Top Cop. They made it so that children can understand what goes behind making of a police officer from the beginning. It's very good to share the foundation. It's like, how do you build the Eiffel Tower? And then you say, okay, this is the foundation that's required, how deep you need to go, what material you need to make an Eiffel Tower. So everybody looking at, hey, how did you make this? How did the architect make this Eiffel Tower? And then you, as keenness, you want to know what material, what architecture, what planning, what designing goes. So it is also about a life called The Making of a Top Cop. Each one of you could be one day the top cop in your own lives. So it is about what goes into making. Now, we have two options. We do the book reading first, and then they take the Q&A, or we do the Q&A first, and then the book reading, and then we'll go back to the chat box. So we do this session in three ways: book reading, your Q&As, and the chat box. Now, what do you want first? Do you want the book reading, or do you want the questions, or do you want the chat box? Your choice. What do you want?
Ma'am, book reading.
Ma'am, book reading.
Reading.
Ma'am, book reading.
Why? Why?
Ma'am, book reading.
Okay, why? Tell me why. Harshpreet, why do you want book first? Why?
Ma'am, because I am excited.
Okay, Kisle, why do you want the book first?
Because, ma'am, first we have to get knowledge from yourself.
Wow. Ishanvi, why do you want the book first?
Ma'am, I want to get more inspired.
Wow. And what about you, Prakhar?
Eager to know about you.
Okay, so that's the background. So I've understood. Now understand why you want the book reading. I'll go accordingly so that I meet your needs. Kriti, is that the reason?
Yes, ma'am, truly. First, I want to listen it from you and then ask my questions.
And Vidushi? Vidushi, why do you want the book first?
Ma'am, your motivational life is the best starting.
Okay, Dalwal? And Dhaval, why do you want the book first? Why do you want the book first?
Ma'am, to get inspired.
Okay, चलो ठीक
Ma'am,
है.
to get inspired.
अभी लगाती हूँ फिर जोर से टीका तुम्हें इंस्पिरेशन का. अभी जोर से टीका लगाती हूँ, ठीक है? Very good. And you are on a wonderful page. This is the full page of this book. It's a beautiful page, and it's one of my most fondest. It's the fondest page, 24 of this book. And if you see it closely, if you see this closely, you know what this? Whose handwriting? Isha, show the handwriting. Show the handwriting, Isha. Yeah, that's right. Come to the second half of the page. Isha, go to the second portion of the page. See the second part. This is my daddy's handwriting. Papa's handwriting. It's a very favorite page. It's my father's handwriting. And see how neat and clean it is. What is in it, I'm going to share with you. I'm sitting in a bus with my father. That's daddy. And that's me when I was probably 20 years old. And that's daddy. And this is a bus. The whole thing is a bus. This is a bus. And I'm in Pune. This is in Pune. And this writing, I'll tell you what this writing is. It's an amazing inspiration. daily, which you can have as yours for yourselves too. So I'll explain to you this inspiration, because this is the inspiration which made me the Asian Tennis Championship, and it made me win it. And I'll give you the background of this. The background here is, and here is what my daddy is telling me. I'll tell you what my father told me. As you know, by the time I reached here, I was a national junior tennis champion, and I was a regular tennis player. And my father used to travel with me all the time when I used to be playing tennis. Now, daddy wrote this for me, and he just took a paper out of his pocket and a pen, and he wrote this in his handwriting and block letters, because in the bus you could not have written the normal handwriting. So he wrote it in block letters. And see what he's written. I'll read it for you, a bit of it. He said, fight, fight, fight. Determination, presence of mind, positive attitude, that little extra. Concentration, anticipation early. Running, early swing, early position. Follow through. Bend, bend, bend. Relaxed limbs. Stroke high for good length. Always keep opponent out. Side the baseline. Pass very calmly down the line or lob well. Serve, throw, swing well. Body weight over the service line. Always bring a proper swing, follow through. Rally, rally, rally. High, avoid the net, avoid the jerk. Get near and under the ball, bend, bend, and bend. Keep in mind the cool and stroking picture of Krishnan in mind. Krishnan was a national champion. Ramanathan Krishnan was the national champion for many years in India. And he was the Davis Cup player and took India to the Davis Cup championship. So Krishnan Ramanathan is a historical name in the game of lawn tennis. His son Ramesh Krishnan also became a Wimbledon champion in junior tennis title. Play all the court game. Remember, you yourself have played and won great finals, which have been acknowledged near world class. Good luck, and my blessings are with you. This is what my father wrote to me. And what he did was, he gave me this page. And he wrote that page, and then what he did was he folded it. He folded it like this, and he gave it to me. And guess what I did? I did this. I put it in my pocket. Show the pocket. You changed it. It was going okay. No, show the pocket, yeah. And I put it in my pocket. Okay? And when I put it in my pocket, this is at the moment a jacket. Then I had my tennis shorts. I used to play with tennis shorts. So I put it in my tennis shorts. Okay, like this. And then when I put it in my tennis shorts like this, and now imagine I'm in tennis shorts. So I'm playing tennis all the time. I'm playing, as I said, he said bend. See the ball goes high, go over the net. So that it is swing, then my footwork. He's given me all this guidance. So what I did was, I put this in my pocket. And when I started playing tennis, I used to do this. When I did this while playing, I knew what my daddy had told me. I did this. All the time when I played, I did this. And my daddy was watching me from the gallery, from outside. And when I would do this, my father was getting a message. Mama, Papa, I remember what you told me. I remember what you told me. And can you believe it? Just because whatever he said, bend, swing, keep the opponent on the outside the court, and fight, determination. So what happened was, because I had it in my pocket and I was touching it all the time, I won the Asian tennis title with a convincing victory. very convincingly, just 6-2, 6-3. It was so convincing became a one-sided match. It was like demolition of my opponent. And it was the International Championships of Asia held in Pune. And it was the war time. So therefore, this was expected to, event used to be held, to be outside. It was held in Pune. And I could easily attend it. Had it been overseas, I do not know whether I would have been sent by the government, who would have paid the expenses. I was lucky that the event was in Pune at the Gymkhana Club of Pune. I still remember the tennis lawns which had the court which it had, and I did it. Now, all this, I want to say what is the message? Message is, first of all, total alignment with the parent. Look at the kind of dedication the parent and the daughter had. There was an alignment between the parent and the child. And there was something called mutual faith. This is what it was. It's written on the book that 1972 was my watershed, because I started winning the Asian tennis title in February, and then later on joined the Indian Police Service in July. So my father told me this exactly. Keep this in your pocket, beta. Every time you touch it, you will be reminded of my guidance. Go ahead and you will win. You will have my blessings. So friends, what it is that the kind of partnership, the friendship you all build as you grow up with your parents, and the kind of dedication you build with your parent, it can be mother, father, etc. And see now, next page. Let's go to the next page. And see now, I'm showing, you are seeing me play. Here, I'm playing, and that is the title, newspaper title of the championship. This is the newspaper clipping saying, Kiran Peshavria is Asian tennis champion. My maiden surname was Kiran Peshavria, and this is what the news item said. And this is after that, when I'm sitting with my father after having won the championship. So the lesson learned from this page is that when you grow up and you build a very good friendship, my best friends were my parents. And within my best friends also, my father was my best friend. So I remember when I used to come home, first thing I would do is run and go to daddy's room and tell him. And mommy would come running after me saying, now she would, so that she can listen to what I tell daddy. Because I would tell daddy about my exploits of the day, victories of the day, or learnings of the day. So this is what happened at that time. What I'm saying, the message here is I'm sure your parents are listening to me. This is a very formative time. I am a product of the way I was nurtured by my parents. The kind of love, affection, respect, regard, trust, faith, belief I had with them. And it is that nutrition. It was a wealth of nutrition which went into making of the top cup. The message, my children, for you is, this is the kind of bond which is required between you and your parents. It can be a grandparent also, and it can be mother only also. It can be father only also. It can be both also. It can be, but the parent and the home is your red fort, is your fort of energy. It's a fort of energy which inspires you. So this is called good fortune of this. So children, this is the message of this page of the book, that if you have to achieve, and that's what the parents must give the messages, that parents also have a very important role in playing their, many times, you don't have parents, or you have a grandparent, or you have a father, or you have an uncle, or you have an elder sister. It depends. Home is a home. Whoever supports you, strengthens you, is your strength. That is what makes you. So this is what I wanted to share with you. It's a wonderful page. You are very lucky because you've seen the handwriting of my father. And this paper, by the way, is still with me. That is why this paper is still a part of my treasure in the documentation. I still have it. That's why it went into the book. Thank God for this. Now that there's another message. You must preserve these. Look, I never knew. So after so many years, my sisters would write this book, Making of the Top Cop. I never knew that. But you see, it happened. Had I not preserved it, had I not loved it, had I not respected it, I wouldn't have had it. And it would have gone. Therefore, documentation habit. Now, even this Asian tennis title, this would not have been with me had I not been. It's 1972. It's now 2020. I had this news clipping with me and the pictures with me of those years. I saved them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had them looking so natural because they've been copied from the real pictures. So, there's also a message. One is bonding with your family. Second lesson is you must preserve what you love, like your report cards, your certificates, your prizes, your photographs. Now you have created websites of your own or your pages of your own. You can place them, picture them, and preserve them as archives, as your galleries. So I would suggest this documentation is a very good habit. For me, this documentation habit has enabled me to reach out to you. Otherwise, how would I prove to you? I would have only said, you know what? I was an Asian tennis champion. You say, okay, many are. So what? Hey, many are. But this documentation makes the difference, and this writing makes the difference. Had I not preserved this, I would not have been able to tell you the story. I would not have been able to prove what I've told you to prove. This, how it was written. Secondly, with what message it was written. And thirdly, how I kept it in my pocket. Fourth, how I used it. Right? These are the messages which I thought this makes a difference in making of you top cop. Now, cop can be anybody. Cop is you. It's making of the top Dhawal, making of the top Harshpreet Singh, making of the top of Ishwani Soni, making of the top of Kisle, making of the top of Kriti Chopra, making of the top of Prakhar Chetna Singh, making of the top of Vidushi Sandilya, making of the top. You're all tops. That's the point. It's a top. It's making of the top you. Here in my case, making of the top cop. You could be the cop tomorrow. If you join the Indian Police Service, you would be the top cop. But a cop means a very vigilant person who is always willing to help others and serve others and stand up for them and fight for them and fight. This is a cop. Cop is not a name. Cop stands for a certain structure of qualities, very good qualities. Cop means an alert human being. An alert human being who is alert, personally vigilant, and protecting and ensuring the security of others. So this is, my children, the page of the book. Okay, I think I've explained to you much more because there was so much more in this. Okay, are you satisfied? Are you satisfied? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, good. Now we spent
ma'am.
first for 25 minutes almost on the page of the book. Now we'll spend next 20 minutes on to your questions. Now I'm coming back to you for your questions. Okay, Dhaval, speak your question.
Good evening, ma'am. My question is, my goal is to become an army, but at the same time, I am also interested in cricket. Can you tell me the best one?
Both?
Can you tell me how to overcome this
Both?
situation?
They are both very good. Cricket will make you an army officer. An army officer will allow you to play cricket. What's the problem? Then, till you join the army, you play ball and cricket. When you join the army, you play the bat for others. You hit them. Cricket is cricket. Cricket is winning and hitting. Cricket means energy and stamina and muscle power and concentration and fitness. All this is needed in the army. You go about playing and studying, and that itself will make you qualify for the examinations when you sit for the army examination. So both do go hand in hand. So while you're a student, Dhaval, you can play cricket, and while playing cricket, you will take your matches, your examinations, and after taking examinations, when you qualify, and you'll be mentally and physically very fit because you're a sports boy. Sports boy, you're very alert, you're very fit, you will qualify. You will qualify, and then it is cricket which would have made you the army officer. Okay? And then when you join the army, there are a lot of team games,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you play team games there itself. Okay? All right? So it can go together. Don't
Yes.
ever be in doubt. Okay, next question by Harshpreet. Harshpreet, your question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah?
Now my question is how to overcome our obstacles and in different situations.
Have you faced obstacles? Have you faced obstacles, Harshpreet?
Ma'am, in playing cricket.
Huh?
Ma'am, in playing cricket.
Oh, while playing cricket, you faced an obstacle? When you playing cricket, you faced an obstacle and you faced a difficult situation? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me for example.
Yes, ma'am.
For example. For example, what
Ma'am,
is the
batting problem.
huh?
Ma'am, batting.
Batting. What is the obstacle in batting?
Ma'am, in
Hindi
my
mein bolna-
legs.
Huh?
Ma'am, in my legs.
In your leg?
Yes, ma'am.
Obstacle in your leg? Such as? What do you mean? कैसे?
हम बैटिंग नहीं होती मैम, बॉलिंग होती है.
हाँ, तो क्या हुआ? तो क्या हुआ?
मैम तो मैम बैटिंग में मैम थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है.
क्या प्रॉब्लम होती है? तुम्हें क्या प्रॉब्लम होती है? तुम्हारे पास वहां टेनिस का कोच है? सॉरी, क्रिकेट कोच है? नहीं है?
यस मैम.
तो
मैम यस मैम.
कोच ऑब्स्टिकल रिमूवर है. कोच तुम्हारा ऑब्स्टिकल रिमूवर है, मतलब तुम्हारी क्वेश्चन का आंसर देने के लिए कोच होता है, इसीलिए टीचर होता है टू डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन का समझाने के लिए. इसीलिए जो ऑब्स्टिकल है पहले पहचानो कि कौन सी ऑब्स्टिकल है. ये ऑब्स्टिकल नहीं है, ये लर्निंग है, ये ऑब्स्टिकल नहीं है. तुम्हारा केस बॉलिंग का ऑब्स्टिकल नहीं है बेटे, ये तो लर्निंग है. आप अपने टेनिस कोच के पास जाओ और सर को बोलो कि सर मुझे ये बॉलिंग में ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही है सर, आप मुझे बताएंगे कैसे करना है, तो वो तुम्हें सिखा देंगे. फिर वो प्रैक्टिस करोगे, ऑटोमेटिकली तुम्हारी बॉलिंग बेटर हो जाएगी.
ओके मैम.
शाबाश. तो ऑब्स्टिकल का मतलब है आपको कौन सी चीज थोड़ी डिफिकल्ट लग रही है. अगर डिफिकल्ट लग रही है तो तुम्हें पता है कि मैं किसके पास जाऊं, मेरे पास सोल्यूशन है. तो आप अपने टीचर पास जाओ, अपने क्रिकेट के कोच के पास जाओ और उनको बताओ सर मुझे ये हेल्प चाहिए सर, मुझे प्लीज बता दीजिए. वो बताएंगे, बड़े खुशी से बताएंगे आपको. तो ये ऑब्स्टिकल नहीं है, ये आपने जाके उनसे पूछना है. समझ गए बेटा?
ओके मैम.
यस बट ओके, लेट्स गो.
थैंक यू मैम.
थैंक यू. ईश्वनी.
Ma'am,
Singh.
Ishan.
Sony.
Ishan.
Isha, look, you know what? You know what? I think it will always be a problem because Isha is not double A. You know, your ISHA should be, if you want to be Ishanvi, then it should be double A. Otherwise, it becomes Ishanvi. Oh, Ishanvi. Am I right?
Yes.
Ishanvi. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Ishanvi.
Ma'am, before asking my question, ma'am, I'm also a UPSC aspirant and it was my long desire to meet you. And ma'am, when I came to know that I'll be joining this session, I was just over the moon.
Thank you. Wonderful. This is a lovely age for your UPSC preparation to begin. In fact, your preparation has already begun because your school books are the basis of all your UPSC exam. If you see the UPSC Academy websites and the way they teach, they tell you to go back to your books, the school books. So if you are a UPSC aspirant, your training is already begun because you become so alert that and the way you educate yourself, the way you read your chapters, look at it from a general knowledge point of view and understanding, this will settle in your brains and it'll start connecting and developing when you sit for the examination.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in a constitution, it says right to equality. Ma'am, but why are there reservations everywhere? Like if two persons are preparing for an exam and one scores higher, still the other one gets the admission just because of the reservation. Ma'am, so isn't that
Yes, there's a right to equality is a fundamental right, but there's also provision in the constitution to make provision for uplifting certain sections of society who are not equal. They are not equal in backgrounds. They're not equal in opportunities. They're not equal in many other situations. So therefore, they will be left behind. Like, for instance, the kind of opportunities you have in urban areas are not available in the rural areas, many situations. The right kind of opportunities you have in the tier 1 city may not be available in tier 3 city. So, or if you're born of very poor parents, then maybe the kind of care you are getting, they may not have. You are born healthy and some may not be. So it's something like a reservation, which is also allowed under the Indian Constitution, and it's called affirmative action. It's not, you call it reservation, it's called affirmative action. So you are giving affirmative action for those people also to uplift and bring them at par. So therefore, it is tough for you to reconcile. I know that. It's very tough to reconcile. But to ensure, give equal opportunities to everybody, you, like for instance, people with disability. People with disability also have a reservation because of natural disability, that let's say somebody cannot walk very well, or somebody cannot listen very well, or somebody cannot see fully, right? So those people also get an equal opportunity by 1 or 2 seats, so that the society becomes more inclusive. So to keep the society more inclusive, such like affirmative actions, and this is quite true all over the world. Like for instance, women's one half reservation in panchayat elections. Why are half women in Bihar? Half every panchayat has 50% reservation for women. Why? Because women would not otherwise opt for elections, and they would not become members of the panchayat. But since women are equal half of the society, they would go unrepresented or inadequately represented. So there's a women's reservation. So men cannot say, but why are 50% seats of ours denied? So certain positions have no reservations. They're fully on merit. But some have a clause for affirmative action. So it is like, this is what the dynamics of a society is, where everybody is not born equal. Everybody is not born with equal opportunities. Everybody is not born with equal amount of energetic health. Everybody is not born with equal kind of opportunities around them. So therefore, society makes provision for them also to come along, so that in the end, society is not just of people who had the opportunities, but people who've been given the opportunities. So now here they are given an opportunity to be able to perform equally. Okay?
thank you?
It's a give and take. Society is also give and take. It would be much easier if there were no reservations for people like you and me. But there would be many others who would have been left behind. So nobody left behind. You also have place for them to join in and move with you. But now their duty is to see that when opportunity is given to them, they also equally value this and then grow up to equally contribute to it. That's the role.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Oh, so we are joined by my daughter called Saina. Saina, you raise your hand. They get to see you. So she joins you. I'll ask her a test question when I feel like. So meanwhile, she'll be on a listening watch. Okay, let's go to Kisle. Kisle Chaturvedi from Patna.
Jain, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, my question is, as a mere child, my heart is filled with curiosity. Therefore, I get attracted readily to any of my field. So, how could I focus on my specific goal and control my divergent mind?
But do you have a specific goal yet or not yet?
Not yet.
So don't worry. That means you're still searching. That means you are still searching yourself. You're still experimenting. So don't have to worry about it. You will play tennis, you'll play football, you'll play basketball, you'll play cricket, you'll do music, but gradually you will see where do you like most. So it will happen. Don't be worried. On the contrary, you're being more versatile. On the contrary, you are learning a bit of everything. So you don't worry. It's too early for you to close options. It's good to be versatile. But when you play all these games, you swim, you do many things, then you suddenly start realizing, oh, I like this little more. And you will then start focusing naturally towards it. So it's versatility and not distraction. It's being nice. You're being versatile. But be alert. What is it that you want to do more? Gradually, you will find out. Okay? Thank you, son. Now, Kriti. Kriti Chopra from
Jai Hind,
Ghaziabad.
ma'am.
Jai
Jai
Hind.
Hind, ma'am.
हाँ बेटा बोलो.
Ma'am, I have someone to introduce you, ma'am. Ma'am, we watch your videos together.
Jai Hind, ma'am. I am Riddhi Chopra and I am 10 years old.
Oh, both sister, are you twins?
No, ma'am, she's 10 years old and I'm 14.
Oh, you're looking quite twinny. Oh, twiny.
We both
Okay,
watch your
Kriti.
videos together.
Okay, you want to ask a question or Kriti wants to? Your
Ma'am,
sister
I
wants-
will ask a question.
Okay,
I
go
will
ahead. Okay, ask your question, Kriti.
Ma'am, my question is, how can one tackle the pressures of competitive exams like UPSC and at the same time enjoy those precious moments of life?
Your exam itself should be an enjoyment. It should not be a pressure and it should not be a pain. Otherwise, that means you're not enjoying what you're doing. And therefore, it's remaining a pain. No. On the contrary, if you're not enjoying UPSC, choose something else. It's not necessary for you to do UPSC. There are many other things to do, equally good and even nicer. So you should not be, I personally think, you should choose your profession which you like, which does not act as a pressure or a stress. On the contrary, as I explained earlier, find out your preferences and natural likes. If you do something which you naturally like and happy towards, it will be like UPSC for you because you'll do very well in that. But if you want to do UPSC, then you work in such a way that you like it. Then you read it from that point of view, you study it from that point of view, but don't do it under pressure. Under pressure, you will not perform your best.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So therefore, if somebody tells you, नहीं तुमको तो ना बड़े होके IAS ऑफिसर बनना है, किरण बेदी जैसे IPS बनना है, तो बोलो बहुत अच्छा है. लेकिन मम्मी मुझे मैं आपको बताऊंगी मुझे क्या बनना है. बनूंगी मैं जरूर कुछ, लेकिन क्या बनना है मम्मा मैं बताऊंगी आपको.
But I've always dreamt of it, like since its very start. So.
क्या बेटा क्या?
Ma'am, I've always dreamt of it from the very start, like when I was very young. So.
For the UPSC?
Yeah, ma'am.
So, but then it's not a pressure. Then enjoy the reading. और जो तुम्हारे subjects हैं, उनको enjoy करो. Enjoy it as knowledge. As knowledge, not as a learning, as knowledge. Read it as if you're gaining a lot and get the thrill of learning more. Then it's not a pressure. And at the age, the age at which you're already talking about UPSC, when you read your books properly and study them well, and even research today more on YouTubes and Wikipedias and other the Googles, it becomes more enjoyable because you suddenly know you're learning more. So acquisition will give you a new high. It gives you a high. Oh, you feel excited. You want to tell your sister, मैंने आज ये पढ़ा, मैंने ये सुना. And then you share it with your sister. You're lucky that you have somebody to share with and make her listen to what you're saying. So hoga tha, anybody who teaches one becomes twice a teacher. Because when you learn and you share, you become twice. Because you've learned and you shared, it becomes twice yours. Okay. Now,
thank you so much, ma'am.
Prakhar Chetna Singh. Prakhar.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay,
my question to you is,
Ma'am, what should be our action plan to transform our life into a healthy, prosperous, and a blissful life?
Why transform? What are you transforming from? Why are you not
Ma'am,
natural self? Why transform? Why? What's making you angry and sad and depressed and stressful? Why are you not happy already? So where's the need for transformation? Why should you not already be a healthy lifestyle? Healthy lifestyle means doing the right thing at the right time, eating at the right time, thinking the right way, getting up at the right time, planning your studies properly, having a good behavior, having good relationships. It's a good lifestyle. So where's the transformation? Need. This is the normal lifestyle. So why should you be what is the need for transformation comes when you want to change things. So why must you change? Change from what? Change from what? Change from bad habits to good habits? Yes. Then if you
yes,
come to
ma'am.
know that certain habits of mine are not good, list them down one by one, break them down, and go into small steps of correcting them. Supposing you don't have a good habit of time management, then what you do is you make a little timetable that, and you will have 2 clocks to make you get up. You want to get up at 6, have a clock alarm at 6. Then keep another alarm clock away from you for 6:10. So even if you blocked the 6 o'clock clock and shut it, and then you gone back to sleep, keep the second alarm at 6:15, and then it will wake up. You have to get out from the bed and go, and then you will naturally break your sleep. Then keep one third clock also. If you're so lazy, another 5 minutes away, and let it make all the noise. Then you start saying, "What the hell?" But you lost your sleep. But that it will remember that you want to get up. Gradually, the body will start accepting this transformation. So you break up whatever habit you want to change. It begins with the first step. And think for yourself, what is it that can, maybe mommy can help you get up, or a family member can help you get up, what you like to do in the morning, what will make you get. So it's whichever habit you want to choose. Maybe it's an eating habit. Somebody is very fond of sweet, and the doctor says, don't eat so much of sweet. How do you keep away from the sweet? I remember somebody had a very bad nail biting habit, and they would bite the nails and come up even to the skin. After a while, they put little stuff on this, which was a little bitter. So they put something bitter here. So every time this would go, it will be bitter. So she stopped biting. And because this was all bitter, so the habit changed. So that means there are always different ways of changing, transforming habits. So which one? They can be only generic, but the question is, transformation begins with identifying what is it that you want to change. What is it? And then
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
is the cause of it? What is the cause of not changing it? Then you break that into smaller habits, and then you change it gradually. It does not happen overnight, but it's like bit by bit.
Thank
Then
you
comes
so much, ma'am.
Vidushi. Vidushi? Vidushi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is how to overcome uncertainty and overthinking?
Okay. What are you uncertain about? What are you feeling uncertain about, Vidushi?
Now I'm uncertain about future, uncertain about test results.
Okay. So how do you get over uncertainty and overthinking? Saina, would you like to answer?
Jai Harima to all of you. Lots of love. Beta, it is what it is. It is what it is. Uncertainty, change is the only constant of life. पहले इस बात को समझ लो, don't fight it. जो चीज आप accept कर लोगे, that'll bring you peace. If you don't accept this law of nature, then आप तिल मिलाते रहोगे. कल क्या होगा वो किसी को नहीं पता. Give it your best today. दूसरी चीज बच्चे, life is lived in moments. Get your moments right. Yesterday I was writing. It was all coming to me. Get your moments right. Live your moments right. Be present in the moment. ये जो 1 घंटा हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, इसके और कुछ है टाइम हमारे पास अभी? है कुछ? This is it. Be here. Be all here. Absorb it. एक फैक्ट ऑफ लाइफ है. एंड अनसर्टेनिटी से जो आप एक नरमी मांग रहे हो, वो प्रेयर से आएगी. चिल्ड्रन नीड टू स्टार्ट प्रेइंग. जो भी आपके दाता हैं, आपके मेकर हैं, भगवान हैं, गॉड हैं, परमात्मा हैं, ईश्वर हैं, आप लोग सुबह उठ के 5-10 मिनट सुबह प्रेयर करो. थैंक यू बोलो. उनको बोलो, हेल्प मी embrace the uncertainty. बच्चे, it's a fact of life. Don't fight it. Don't analyze it. Don't question it. Give your best to your day. Live your little moments right. Overthinking बच्चे also comes from the fact क्या होगा, कब होगा, कैसे होगा, क्यों होगा, ये नहीं करा तो वो क्या होगा, वो मेरे बारे में क्या बोलेगा, अब क्या होगा. बेटा, क्वेश्चंस ही सुन लो. क्वेश्चंस को ही सुन लो. कितनी एजिटेशन क्रिएट करते हैं. तो हम वो क्यों करें जो एजिटेशन क्रिएट कर रहा है? अच्छा, ओवर थिंकिंग का एग्जाम्पल क्या है मेरे बच्चे? एग्जाम्पल दो. वाईफाई चला जाएगा अभी. ओवर थिंकिंग का एग्जाम्पल दो मुझे. कहाँ है मामा? वेयर इज आ बच्चा? ओवर थिंकिंग का एग्जाम्पल क्या है बेटा? बताओ मुझे. कैसी ओवर थिंकिंग? क्या आपको कैसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं ओवर थिंकिंग के?
अपना एग्जाम्पल बताओ विदुषी. अपना एग्जाम्पल दो.
अपना एग्जाम्पल बताओ बच्चे.
The example right now, Vidhi ma'am, I'm asking a question right now. What would be my parents thinking about me? What would be the world thinking about me? I just think about such things every time.
हम सब, we are all born to be ourselves. You have come to live Vidushi's life. I have come to live Saina's life. Kriti has come to live her life. We are enough for ourselves. So पहले तो embrace yourself completely. You are enough.
Okay,
Comparison में नहीं जाना.
Okay, one second. Vidushi, what do you think about yourself? Tell me that.
Self-image.
I'm really not certain about myself. I just think sometimes that I'm not enough. I'm average sometimes.
So that's where you first have to begin with yourself. Vidushi, I've lost the connection. उसका वाईफाई चला गया. बिल्कुल ठीक था वो. उसका वाईफाई उड़ गया.
आ जाएगा. आ गया. सी
पहले आप देखा,
आ गया.
आया, अपने आप गया, अपने आप आ गया. ठीक है. लेकिन अगर Saina, I'll just answer it. Her. I'll answer her. One second. पहले मम्मी डैडी क्या तुम्हारे बारे सोचते, इसलिए क्योंकि तुम श्योर ही नहीं हो तुम कौन हो. पहले आप अपने बारे सोचो. आप क्या चाहते हो, आप कौन हो, आप किस चीज की ग्रेटिट्यूड है आपका, आपके पास क्वालिटीज क्या है, कौन सी चीजें तुम और गेन करना चाहते हो. पहले अपने बारे सोचो. फिर तुम वो क्या सोचते हैं वो बात की बात. पहले तुम आज से अपने बारे में सोचोगे. और जो बनना है अपनी विजन लाओ कि मैं ऐसा बनना है, मुझे ऐसी क्वालिटीज लेनी है, मुझे ये अच्छी बातें सीखनी है. पहले आप अपने पर ध्यान रखो. इट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन यू आर रेजिंग. It's a very good question you're raising. I'm going to ask your colleague, your little friends to answer this question also. Let
Thank
me
you, ma'am.
see what the other children say. Anybody wants to answer her question?
Mommy, she's very emotional about this. Just I need a minute. Vidushi, we've all gone through this journey,
Yes,
beta.
ma'am.
We've all gone through this journey. When the world tells you what you need to be, no, my bacha, no. You are complete and you're the best as Vidushi. Even Saina auntie went through this. You are complete as Vidushi. Beta, you will need to start praying. Only God accepts us and loves us as we are. Mommy, our children need because the pulls and pressures are so much. They need a connection with God. Beta, you need your connection. You need your connection with Paramatma. You need to pray for 10 minutes. Your
Okay, so
nose,
she's told you,
embrace yourself.
she's told you one technique. Vidushi, Saina has told you one technique. And that technique is to sit down and pray.
When you're overthinking, start removing your thoughts one by one. Remove it, fill it up with something nice. Remove it, fill it up with something nice. Again, remove a negative thought. Start thinking कि ये सारा कुछ फील करने के बाद मैंने कैसे फील करना है. वो अपने आप एक डेटरेंट बन जाता है. नहीं, मुझे सरेंडर करना है. मुझे सरेंडर करना है. मुझे सरेंडर करने अपने ये थॉट्स. बेटा, नहीं तो जीना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. आप अपने आप से ही लड़ते रहते हो सारा दिन. ऐसे नहीं करना हमने.
Can I get
अपने आप को हक करनी
Saina,
है.
can I get the children answering? Hold on. Can I get other children answering her question? Anybody who answer her question? Okay, tell me, how do you all become confident? Okay, go ahead. Huh? I can't read the name. Ishanvi, answer.
Ma'am, when I overthink, ma'am, so I just pen down whatever I'm thinking, and then I just figure if I can do anything. Like overthinking doesn't help in any ways. Like just you think and think, but you can't do anything of this situation. So it's best to be present in the moment.
And very
And
good
just-
is you start writing down. Write down what is coming. Read what you read. Now, first write, and then you read as an outsider. And read for yourself as a friend is written. Then you'll be a counselor yourself. Anybody else who wanted to answer? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I wanted to say that overthinking is like such a common thing these days. All of us want to be perfect. We see people around us so perfect, and all of us want to be perfect. So I think it's better to just channelize your thoughts in a better way. We can all just we can just sit down for a moment, see what is going on in our mind, and just throw that thought out of our mind. That's what I do, ma'am.
Your own age group is now telling you how they are dealing with it. So it's something new for you, something special. How? Huh? Who? Prakat. Prakat, you?
Ma'am, it's Prakhar. And ma'am, when I overthink, I just distract myself from these thoughts. Ma'am, I try to do some paintings. I try to do I go with nature, or I sometimes listen music. I just distract myself from these thoughts.
Okay, anybody else? Any one of you? Sign up, hold on. Let me get the children's response to the children. Okay, Sana, just hold on. Anybody else? Any other children? How do you handle when you overthink and it causes you too many things going into your mind? Yes, Ishanvi?
Ma'am, when there are way too many things, ma'am, so the best thing is just to sit silently and let them go away, and like just free up your mind and just let them go away. And if you want to cry, cry that out, because if you don't cry, ma'am, the headaches, and then if you try to stop it, so the best way is let it go.
Let it go. I'm coming. I will give you a wrap up in the end. I'll tell you how I deal with it. Okay. So I'll tell you my mantra. But in the end, after I've heard you. Kisle, how do you deal with overpressure?
Ma'am, I start meditating.
You meditate.
Yes, ma'am.
That means you start observing yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Meditation, nothing but eyes closed. Eyes closed, or even with eyes open, you observe yourself. That's meditation
Yes, ma'am.
also. Kisle,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
meditate.
Yes,
Vidushi is
ma'am.
asking. Dhalwal, what do you do? जब बहुत सारी घुस जाते हैं दिमाग में, तो क्या करते हो क्रिकेट और आर्मी में?
Ma'am,
Come on,
you?
Dhalwal.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? When too many thoughts come to your mind, what do you do?
Ma'am, I'll try to remove it from my brain, ma'am.
What do you do?
Ma'am, I'll try
I
to
will try
remove
to
that
remove
thought
from the
from my
brain.
brain, ma'am.
How do you remove?
Ma'am,
How
by
do you
refreshment, ma'am.
Huh?
Ma'am, by refreshment, by playing with friends, by playing cricket, by talking with others, with our
You
mother
go.
and father.
You choose another activity.
Ma'am, watching cartoons also, ma'am. I watch cartoons.
You choose another activity. Anybody else
Yes,
wants to
ma'am.
answer?
Mama, the good thing is they are not fighting it. They are not adding fuel to it. They are not fighting it. They are letting it. They are dropping it. You have to drop
Okay.
it.
Kriti, yes.
Ma'am, I missed out on something. Like, it is always better to talk to your parents as well. Like, you just go over, like, you just come over it each time.
You see, you are at a wonderful age, and the kind of experience in life Saina has, or I have life, you don't. I have to try and bring myself to your age to understand. When I was yours, what was I doing? Okay, hold on. So I have also gone back to my age of 14 and 13 and 10 as to what was I doing. Because I cannot expect you to be my age. And I cannot expect you to be Saina's age. I can only go back to your age of 10, 11, and 12 and saying, how was I dealing with it? And what is it at that time I could understand? Because at the moment, you may not be able to understand the larger thing. I do not expect you to take a full grasp. But certain things you can quickly do. Is very easy. That is, start being observant. Start being observant. Just observe. If you pick up this habit quickly, it will go a long way quickly. Just be observant. You can observe. And now you might just say, but ma'am, how can we observe our thoughts? They're not visible. They are. Just observe. What's happening? What's coming to my mind? Is it causing me worry? Or is it joyful? Or is it happy? Or is it sad? Just observe. Observe. And then comb your hair. Comb your hair. You know why? This gives you time. You cleaned your hair. You clean your head actually. Observe. Now I've spoiled my hair for you, but doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that you have to become observant and just clean your head. Comb. So keep a comb in your pocket. Let's keep a comb in our pocket. And you're not happy with your thought. You're not happy with your thought. Okay, comb. In this comb itself, the thought is going. What happens is, I'm teaching you something which as a child you can pick up like this, as a technique. So I'm teaching you observation. Now, when I was few years ago, I went for a Vipassana meditation course. And what does Vipassana stand for? अपने आप को विशेष तरीके से देखना. Vipassana, vip, shana. Shana means देखना, vip means विशेष. विशेष तरीके से देखना. अब मैं इतनी उम्र में क्या बात समझी? बाद में पहले क्यों नहीं समझी? I did not, nobody told me कि अपने आप को देखना. अरे अपने आप को देखना, मैं शीशे पे देख सकती हूँ. हाँ बहुत अच्छा, ऐनक बहुत अच्छी, बाल ठीक. अरे नहीं, अपने अंदर को देखना. सो आप जब शीशे, गो बैक, शीशे को देखना, शीशे में देखना क्या हो रहा है मुझे, मैं क्या सोच रहा हूं, क्यों सोच रहा है, क्या घबराने की बात है। टॉक टू ईच अदर। अच्छा याद है पुरानी हेमा मालिनी की फिल्म्स अभी नहीं होती हैं, पहले हेमा मालिनी की फिल्म्स ऐसे होती थी, वजंती माला की पिक्चर्स, हेमा मालिनी पिक्चर्स, वो शीशे पे जाके करता था, वो मेरा बॉयफ्रेंड है ना, वो बहुत दूसरी लड़की को बहुत पसंद करता है, तो मैं बहुत परेशान हूं, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, तो दूसरी कहे अरे क्या है, अगर आदमी को अगर वो अच्छा कैरेक्टर का नहीं है छोड़ दे उसको, तो दूसरा शीशा बोलता था नहीं नहीं छोड़ कैसे सकता हूं, मैं उससे बहुत प्यार करती हूँ, कैसे छोड़ दूं, तो दूसरा शीशा वाला बोलता था नहीं नहीं अगर वो आदमी आपके काबिल नहीं है छोड़ दो उसको। तो वो अपने आप से बात करती थी मिरर से। व्हाट इज शी डूइंग, शी इज ऑब्जर्विंग हरसेल्फ, शी इज टॉकिंग टू हरसेल्फ। तो गो, ये एनक, पहले ये कंगी means cleaning your head thoughts, so change your thought, go to the mirror and talk to yourself। अब मम्मी डैडी कहेंगे अरे किससे बात कर रहे हो तुम, क्या बोली जा रहे हो तुम, रोज तुम बड़ा शीशे से बात करते हो, शीशा तुम्हारा दोस्त है क्या। हाँ मम्मी शीशा मेरा दोस्त है क्योंकि मैं अपने आप से बात कर सकती हूँ। मतलब ये जोक्स अपार्ट इज टॉकिंग टू योरसेल्फ, इज सेल्फ ऑब्जर्वेशन। मैं आपको वो मंत्र दे रही हूं जो आपको एक दिन मिलेगा जरूर, लेकिन जब आप 40 इयर्स प्लस हो जाओगे, अब या 14 के हो, 12 के हो, 13 के हो, 11 के हो, 10 के हो, अगर आपको अभी मिल जाए कि मैं अब ना आगे से जो मेरे मन में आएगा मैं इसको सोच के देखूंगा कि क्या हो रहा है, मैं आंखें भी बंद करके सोचूंगा कि मेरे क्या हो रहा है, क्रिकेट भी मारा, मुझे बॉलिंग ही नहीं आ रही, मैं क्या करूं। सो यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग विद योरसेल्फ, इज सेल्फ ऑब्जर्वेशन। नाउ द वर्ड इज सेल्फ ऑब्जर्वेशन, सेल्फ थिंकिंग। तुमने एक बहुत गंभीर क्वेश्चन पूछा एज अ चाइल्ड, इट्स अ वेरी सीरियस क्वेश्चन, but I'm trying to give you the answer in a simple way, which is self-observation. Same thing observes a deeper meaning as you grow up, but at the moment it's very simple। मैं ना बड़ा स्ट्रेस हो गया, मुझे एग्जाम में पता, मुझे डर लग रहा है, ओके डर लग रहा है बड़ा, तो डर को डराओ, किस बात का डर है, मैंने पढ़ाई तो पूरी की है, तो फिर डरने की क्या जरूरत है। कौन टॉक टू योरसेल्फ, टॉकिंग टू योरसेल्फ इज सेल्फ ऑब्जर्वेशन, self talk, it's called auto talk।
Another thing that children should not compare, children should not compare themselves, they need to stop comparing themselves with, ये बच्चों को थोड़ा समझाओ, they all want to be something else or somebody else।
don't copy, don't work on copying others, just be yourself। आप जब कॉपी करने लगते तब प्रॉब्लम आती है, just be, learn to be your own self। इसके बहुत सारे आंसर्स हैं, मगर एक प्रोग्राम में सारे आंसर्स नहीं मिल सकते। तो अब आपको, और साइना ने जो बोला है, एक प्रेयर की हैबिट डालो। प्रेयर की हैबिट से क्या होगा, आप सेटल डाउन करोगे, शांति आएगी, आपको स्टेबिलिटी आएगी, थोड़ा रिलैक्सेशन आएगी, पीस ऑफ माइंड आएगा। अच्छा म्यूजिक सुनो, अच्छी संगत सुनो, अच्छा भजन सुनो, अच्छा म्यूजिक, बहुत लाउड 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 म्यूजिक करने से बहुत तंग होता है। So we run out of time today. How do we go to the chat box?
Chat box, we can't do the questions. Only the students.
Do we have answered all the questions?
See the last which ma'am.
Anybody left?
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody left out? Like you better, Dushi. Anybody left? We've answered all your questions. Okay, let's go to your. Let's see the chat box. A few questions. We crossed the time today. Ma'am, what is the one thing which inspired you to do these sessions? Archana Goswami. I thought it was the right thing to do. We wanted to connect with the children because after COVID, we used to have a lot of children coming to us. We used to work with children as Raj Nivas. With Raj Nivas having opened, we used to have a lot of good sessions. We used to invite children for cinema shows here. We suddenly, because of COVID, the Raj Nivas could not, because of social distance, we had to maintain social distance. So we lost out on children. We wanted to recover. And we wanted to reconnect with our children because we feel connecting with children is energy for us. We feel very energized. Next question, Archana, from Archana. Next question, Isha. Isha, next question. Oh, she's choosing one. In the end, मैं आपको एक मंत्र दे के भेजूंगी आज. Next question, otherwise I go ahead and wrap up. Rajni Gupta. How do you choose our career wise? How do we choose our career wise? I'm Vaniksha Gupta from Mahatma Gandhi Government School, Mansarovar, Jaipur. Is what you like. Understand yourself and see what you like doing. Do you like handwork? Do you like reading? Do you like writing? Do you like singing? Where are you happiest at? That's your career. Your career is going to be an extension of you. And if you choose your right career, you'll always be settled in it. So your career is your extension. Therefore, choose your extension carefully. You'll never have to work at all. Next question. Why Abhay Chaudhary says, why there's no written exam interview just like UPSC to become politician? I think the politician's life is the toughest. You don't know their life. The politician never has a holiday. You and I have a holiday. We can shut our doors on a Sunday and a Saturday. They cannot. Politicians' life is 24/7. Even if they are ill, they cannot say they are ill. Because the people would say, well, we voted you, you better serve us. Politician's life is the hardest because he or she has to be available 365 days of the year, 24/7. Politician is no ordinary profession. It's a whole life. And you know, politician is not alone. The whole family also becomes. The whole family also starts giving because the politician needs a huge family support. And he also needs lots of resources. So just I think we are into easier professions, written an exam, qualified and getting our salary. These politicians actually work 24/7. They work 3 days in one day. 3 days in one day. Isn't it true?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very tough career. I don't know why they choose, but if they like to serve public and be what they want to be, well, so be it. Good luck to them. But remember one thing, just being a politician is no ordinary. So if you make it written exam and interview, maybe nobody will make it. So you won't have them. Watch your thoughts. Observe your thoughts. You have to be your self-monitor. Remaining motivation means self-observation. There's no other, there's no B complex. There's no neurobone injection. It's all neurological. So to be motivated is neurological. It's in your own hands. Now, when it's in your own hands, you will go into situations, books, music, activities, situations which motivate you, which you like, which inspire you. So you have to choose those situations. Let's go. Last question. How to avoid stage fear? By practice. It's all by practice. How do you get over water fear? By swimming, by going into the water. Initially, you go with the tube and later on you forget about the tube. So any fear has to be faced. You have to not fear the fear, but face it. So to avoid stage fear is to go on the stage. And doesn't matter if you make a mistake, but you will see by the second or the third time, even if the people laugh, you also laugh with them. Enjoy. Saying, I'm a beginner. I had to make a mistake. But I will learn. So second time, again, people laugh, make them laugh and laugh with them. Third time, people will clap. Okay, let's go back to the children. Okay, let's do a little wrap up. All right, let's do a little wrap up. Let's go. Okay, what is that one thing you'll take away? I'm going to give you in the end one small statement, but in the end. Ishanvi? Ishanvi? What's the one thing you take away today?
Ma'am, self-realization. Ma'am.
Take a
To self.
Prakhar?
Ma'am, the values.
Kishe? Kishle? What are you one thing you'll take? Dhalwal? Dhaval? What is that one thing?
Ma'am, self-realization.
अरे वाह, copycat.
No, ma'am.
हाँ.
No.
हर्षप्रीत क्या ले जाएगा यहाँ से आज?
Motivation.
अच्छा, 10 साल का है तू. विदुषी? What will you take today?
Ma'am, there are many things, but the most important would be to have faith in God and to be self-observant.
Okay. Kriti?
Ma'am, I learned that everyone is divine and we must have faith in our parents because they can guide us to the best.
Okay, anybody else left out who's not answered this question? That one boy missed out because of this. Okay, start doing one thing in the morning when you get up. And I do that, and it has worked for me all the time. And this is not mine. It was by a Buddhist monk. He said that when I get up in the morning and I put my feet on the ground from my bed, I ask myself, today I want to be in hell or heaven. And I choose heaven. Every morning, I ask myself today, do I want my day to be hell or heaven? And I choose heaven. Every day when I choose heaven, then any thought which comes to my mind or incident happens, do I make it heaven or hell? I choose heaven. Which means I am fearless and I keep attending to it with concentration and focus. I stay positive and I stay on course so that the day remains my heaven and not hell. Even while bathing many times, I remind myself, oh, today is heaven. Today is heaven. Sometimes I get a file which is very complex and I would say, heaven. So if you start talking heaven as your mantra, which means you're one with nature, you're one with God, you're observing yourself. When I say I'll be heaven, which means I'm actually self-observing. Isn't it? And that's not difficult for you two children to choose. Every day I choose heaven. So if I'm into a question, I will choose my solution. I can connect with my parents. As Saina said, I pray or I take another activity. But I will choose heaven. I will not choose hell. Hell would make me angry. Angry when there's no. It's smile and it's joy. जो होगा देखी जाएगी. मैं अपना काम करूंगा या करूंगी, मेहनत करूंगी, खुश रहूंगी, अच्छा काम सोचूंगी, तो मैं सब ठीक रहेगा. चैलेंज आएगा, मैं उसको एक्सप्लेन, मैं उसको हेल नहीं बनाऊंगी, हेवन. So what will you choose every morning?
Ma'am, heaven. Ma'am, heaven.
Wow.
Ma'am, heaven.
Very good.
Choose heaven.
Lovely. Every day choose heaven.
We'll choose
So when you
heaven.
choose heaven, you choose God. Because God is in heaven. God is in heaven. Devil is in the hell. Devil is in hell. God is in heaven. I am choosing heaven. And when I choose heaven, God is with me. Right, Saina? Saina? Are you listening, Saina? What are you listening?
Yes.
What will you take today?
We choose heaven.
Choose.
We are perfect. We choose heaven and we are perfect.
We will choose heaven. Okay, so with this, choosing heaven every day will keep you in cloud nine means it will keep you successful, more productive, and happy with yourself. So H for heaven, H for happy. Both H. H for happy, H for heaven. Okay? Done? So till we meet again. As you grow up, we meet again. Heaven. everybody's happy with heaven. Everybody's choosing heaven, even on the chat box. Okay? Thank you and bye-bye. Thank you so much. Lots of love.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Anything to
ma'am.
show?
Ma'am,
You got something
yes,
to
ma'am.
show?
Ma'am, I
You got
have,
something? Come on.
yes,
Okay, go
ma'am.
show.
Yes, ma'am.
Show.
Ma'am, I have something to say.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Harshpreet. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Thank
I
you,
have something to
Prakash.
say.
Thank you so much. So cute. Anybody else? Wow, you all done. Ishanvi, lovely. Beautiful Chandigarh, lovely. Hyderabad, Dhawal side. Oh, lovely flower. So beautiful. Dhawal side, so beautiful. Kriti, thank you so much. Lots of love.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. God bless you. All of you, lots of love.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
ma'am, I have something to speak. Can I?
Wants to say something.
Yes.
Ma'am, I've written a very short and quick poem. To be the first, to be unlike the rest, I had to do something different. I had to break social norms. I had to shine through the storms. The society had to reform. From tennis matches to studying hard, I had to do it all. I was never made to fall. Now that I'm here, as strong as a tree, I will share my life with the new leaf. I will inspire them to win and not to fear lose. I will inspire them to not to restrict their thoughts anywhere before infinity. Peaks and valleys will always come, but as my spiritual says, I had to carve my own way. I will be the definition of a true influencer and be the change for everyone to grow, for everyone to glow.
How lovely, Kriti. Keep writing.
Thank you.
Keep writing. So beautiful.
Thank you,
Keep
ma'am.
writing. You got a lovely flair. And you want to do UPSC too? Ishanvi also wants to do.
Yes, ma'am.
You're on that. You're on the track. So when you join it and reach somewhere higher up as you will, keep connected. Okay? I shall be back in Delhi. You can track me wherever I am. Okay.
ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Harima. And you all are beautiful and you all are perfect as your own self.
Okay, great.
You're perfect.
Thank you,
Thank
Saina.
you so much, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
It looks like you've come to see me in Pondicherry and going back from Pondicherry. Thank you.